Today's video is about credit in two parts. First part is going to be about the misconception that a lot of COVID EIDL borrowers have when they receive this form, which is a borrower's authorization or third-party authorization form. If your small business received a COVID economic injury disaster loan, the EIDL, during the pandemic, today's video is for you. If you're a small business owner who's concerned about your personal credit, not your business credit, your personal credit, today's video is also for you, because when we act as a consultant for small business owners on different aspects of the SBA program, the borrower, the client, fills out that form, signs it, and authorizes us as a third party. But also, the SBA requires this form to be signed by the COVID EIDL business owner borrowers as part of any transaction that they're working on, and they don't explain what it's about. We're going to do another video about borrower's authorization, but today I wanted to talk about credit, because the misconception among COVID EIDL borrowers is that the SBA is going to run your credit report. And for you small business owners who are staying tuned for this video about credit, we're going to talk about that. Notably, I'm going to tell both aspects of you. Small business owners are just concerned about your credit, and small business owners with COVID EIDLs. It's not your credit report. Stop calling it that. But first, a quick word from me and Linda Ray. Hi, I'm Trevor, the SBA pandemic loan expert. Every day, small business owners like you ask us for help, and I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you what kind of help we can provide, and then we'll jump right back into today's video. During the pandemic, the U.S. Small Business Administration, or SBA, supported small businesses with 4 million pandemic loans, also known as COVID EIDLs. Since the first days of the pandemic, Linda Ray and I have supported small businesses for 3 reasons. First, we have experience in the financial services industry. Linda from the insurance field, and myself from the mortgage banking industry. Number 2, we truly, passionately believe that you, small business owners, are the backbone of the American economy. And number 3, from the beginning of the pandemic, you have asked us for our help. Today, there are ways that we can help you. First, free videos. Pop over to our main page, subscribe to our channel, and click on playlists. There you will find hundreds of videos categorized for whatever your need is for the COVID EIDL program. Number 2, we created guidebooks that cover all aspects of the COVID EIDL program. We provide these free videos and access to our expertise because you ask us for help every day, and because the SBA provides inadequate communications and guidance. Visit EIDLconsulting.com for more information. And now, back to today's video. I have read thousands of credit reports, and the advice that I give to people about their credit is often, let's just say that people often tell me I'm completely wrong. They think I'm nuts. They look at me like I've got 6 heads. And they listen to the other types of experts, quote unquote, that are out there talking about credit. And not to diminish the expertise and the knowledge of those other experts, but it's a different type of expertise. Think of a plumber who comes to your house to repair something. That would be me if it had to do with the credit report, right? I'm the plumber. And think of those other experts as the plumber's assistant, because they're the ones who lug the tools in and hand the tools and hold the flashlight and do the assisting thing, but they don't have the full knowledge that the plumber has. Likewise, my opinion about these other experts is none of them have read thousands of consumer credit reports as I have. None of them have had thousands of conversations with consumers. Notably, in my career as a mortgage banker, people who wanted to buy or refinance the mortgage on their house. They wanted to buy a house or refinance a house. None of those alleged experts, the plumber's assistants, if you will, have experience with the kind of real nitty-gritty life experiences of people and their credit reports. Interestingly, that seems to be where the concept of don't let anyone run your credit report because inquiries will harm your credit. This was a big issue when I was a mortgage banker, and during the pandemic when we assisted our clients to get approved for $70 million of COVID loans. People would say, oh my God, is that going to be a hard hit? A hard hit? Like, I don't even know who invented that. Hard hit, soft hit. It's a lot of horse shit, in my opinion. If you've got reasonably good credit, I'm not even talking about fantastic credit, just reasonably good credit, and a bank, a credit card company, an auto loan company, timeshare company, the SBA, if they run your credit report, yes, there's an inquiry, and yes, it does impact your credit score sometimes, not always. If it does, the most I have seen is 4 to 6 points. That's it. So if you have a 700 credit score, 4 to 6 points isn't going to harm you. And frankly, it's only temporary. And frankly, it's required. You see, this is the problem. If someone is going to run your credit report, it's because they need that information to make a decision about you, usually a lending decision, right? You want to borrow money to buy a house. You want to borrow money to buy a car or lease a car. You want to open up a new credit card. You want to buy a timeshare. Any number of things where people are required to run your credit. You want to get insurance. If they need to run your credit, they need to run it. But here's the thing. It's not your credit report that you have any kind of authority over it. You have zero authority over it. Zero. You have no authority over the use of your credit report whatsoever. What you have authority of, as per Congress, is you have the authority to tell the credit agencies when there is a mistake on your credit report, such as, my name is Trevor. If it was spelled, well, and I spell it Trevor, if it was spelled Tucker, Tucker, which, by the way, that is a thing. People have messed up my name in many different ways, and one of those ways was Tucker. Somebody called me Tucker, and someone else called me Trent. Then there's Kevin and Clever and Treasure, and on and on. But if I get my free annual credit report and I see that somewhere somebody has entered my name incorrectly as Tucker, I can instruct the credit bureau, whether it's Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, hey, that's not my name. My name is Trevor. And they are required by federal law to fix it. And that's it. That's the full extent of my authority as a consumer over the credit report. Not my credit report, the credit report. Because I don't own the credit report. The credit bureaus own the credit report. They collect the data and put that information onto the credit report. When you say to someone, I don't want you to run my credit report, it's not your credit report. And when you are saying that to them, you're saying to them, I don't want to borrow money from you. I don't want that insurance policy. If you get a borrower's authorization form from the SBA because you're doing some kind of process like change of ownership or subordination, that borrower's authorization seems to indicate the SBA is going to run your credit report. And they might, but they're probably not going to, because they don't need to run a credit report for managing a basic transaction such as changing the address of your business because you're relocating from here to there, subordination agreement because you are bringing in another loan, sale of assets. They don't need to run your credit report there because there's no lending decision involved. Stop fretting and losing your mind about this, and stay tuned because I will do a more detailed video about this borrower's authorization and other SBA forms in the coming weeks. I wanted to put your mind at ease that when you get the borrower's authorization form, if you're a COVID EIDL borrower, don't lose your mind. Sign the form, send it back to the SBA as per their instructions so that you can complete that transaction. And for you other small business owners, if you need credit in any way, shape, or form, then someone is going to run your credit report. You don't own the credit report. You can give permission, as per federal regulation, for someone to access it, but you don't own it. That's the extent of your authority. I hope you have found this helpful. And by the way, I know that some folks seem to think there's nothing left to report about on the COVID EIDL program, to which I would say to you, you are wrong. There is plenty to report about, by the way, on the COVID EIDL program, because we are getting inquiries every day. Just 2 hours ago, we had an email from somebody who purchased one of our guidebooks yesterday, but now is asking us if we offer full consulting services to manage a change of ownership. Notably, one partner, which is actually an entity that's an owner of a business, is buying out a natural person who owns shares in that business. And we don't offer full consulting, but we get these every day. Last night, I spoke to a young woman on our 1-hour consulting call whose business has failed through no fault of her own, and she got an $80,000 COVID EIDL, and she wants to know what to do. So there is plenty to talk about, plenty to report. That's why today's video was about the borrower's authorization and is SBA going to run my credit? Stop worrying about things, but prepare for it. That's what our COVID EIDL blueprint guidebooks are for. And remove all that fear and anxiety you've got. By the way, I'm Trevor, the EIDL expert.